Welcome to CSL TV, and I just hope you guys are having a beautiful, blessed day. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is just a review, reaction, and informational channel. Hopefully the informational part help you or someone out in life, and we just gonna watch some videos and talk about them. Now, some of the stuff I show you guys, I know you might be able to find it elsewhere, or you might not be able to find it elsewhere because we can't be everywhere at all times. So with that being said, to all the people that's been rocking with me, hey, I appreciate the love. I appreciate all that because we be watching some crazy stuff. Let me tell you what, let me tell you. But, you know, it's all love. Y'all be safe out there. You know what I'm saying? This world we live in, just be safe, watch your surroundings. And as always, let's get it.
And this guy was eating him. He was eating his chest and his cheek and spitting out the flesh. John and Michelle had been married for about 19 years at this point, living the good life, chilling in their garage with the TV on, sipping on beers, waving at folk as they walked by. Neighbor of the beer-swilling couple was a guy named Jeff. He heard something which stopped him dead in his tracks. It was a woman screaming. At 5 minutes later, Jeff called 911. After he had heard the scream, Jeff went outside and saw, in the home of John and Michelle across the road, well, the garage was open. They had been settling in for a few sups, TV on, but now he saw them on the ground, a guy there, hitting them. This guy then attacked Jeff. He fought back, ran through the house, and back home. That's when he noticed he'd been stabbed. The police arrived a few minutes later and entered this load of shite. This guy, the attacker, was still in the garage, but he was on top of John, legs wrapped around him like a monkey. And this guy was eating him. He was eating his chest and his cheek and spitting out the flesh. They tasered this guy. Nothing, still chowing down. He overpowered them when they tried to grab him and handcuff him. He managed to fight them off, went back to it. They unleashed the canine. They started kicking him in the head. He was like a Superman cannibal. Eventually, they managed to get one hand in the cuffs and drag this guy, he was a kid, really, off John. This guy was now saying, kill me, shoot me, I deserve to die. He had no criminal history. He was 19 years old, and his name was Austin Harris. Austin was born in December 1996, a native of Palm Beach, Florida.
Man, so we already heard in the beginning how he was eating people, or eating someone, eating this guy. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine what in the kind of drugs was you absolutely doing and what was going through your mind. Or what make you want to eat people? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what kind of drug you on. What would make somebody want to eat another human being?
Austin was generally described by his good friend Sam as a playful, goofy, bit of a jokester, but just generally bang on. Growing up, he had intermittent depressive episodes, nothing major, but it was in July 2016 that things really took a turn for the worse. He would get more frequent highs and lows, and they would be more intense. He was home from school, obviously, during the summer, and in that time he decided he would become a popular rapper. He spent the weekend at his girlfriend's house, Katie. She lived in Tampa. That when he woke up, he saw monsters. These mental issues. It all happened very, very suddenly. I mean, this could have been under, the surface for years before finally exploding tragically for really everybody involved. The Friday before the attack, he flushed all his drugs as he was concerned about purity. A critical thing happened on the 14th of August, Sunday. The Sunday before. Himself, his dad's girlfriend, and Austin's friend Sam went to a gun show. There, he bought a knife for protection. On Monday, August 15th, Austin woke up quite early and he put on some clothing. He put on a jersey, a football jersey, a Falcons jersey. Good man. It was a Michael Vick jersey. He put it on because he thought he was half dog. He eventually ended up at a fraternity brother's house. Others drank and smoked weed. Austin didn't, but he did begin to feel God-like. He then walked to his mother's house. They all lived in Jupiter, pretty, within a couple of miles of each other. When he got to his mother's house, he was feeling thirsty, so he drank cooking oil and then went back to the restaurant. He stormed out again after nearly punching his dad, after which he ran and, quote, followed the stars. At one point, he encountered an evil figure, a dark figure with a white face, he said, and he fled screaming from it and ran toward a lit garage, asking for help. This was on Kokomo Lane. Next thing he remembers, he saw a woman screaming at him. He thought she was a witch, so he pulled out the knife he had bought the day before. He later grabbed a machete in the garage, and, well, next thing, Jeff called 911. This was a major surprise to pretty much everyone. They all thought he was off on something. Off his banana by having some kind of substance in his system. There wasn't. They did all the tests. At the hospital, Austin was still violent, fighting against his restraints, having to be sedated. He had cuts on his hands. His thumb was nearly hacked off. But internal injuries to Austin were worse. See, at one point during the attack, he drank some kind of liquid he found in the garage and knocked it back. Austin was at one point diagnosed, among other things, schizophrenia in particular, with clinical lycanthropy delusions, which is werewolf syndrome. He, could be eligible for the death penalty. I think, true crime is really about justice. The search for it, whether people get it or not. But in this case, is there really any justice to be gotten? I mean, Austin was a victim to an extent as well. He was a victim of his own mental illness that was untreated. I really do appreciate you taking the time to be here. Listen, here, go on. I'll see you as always real soon in the next one. Till then, please look after yourselves. I love you.
Man, I wonder, even if he would have got treated, would it still help him? Because, some people, a lot of people got issues and they get treated, you know what I'm saying? But some people feel like they don't need that treatment. And, he is a pretty good looking, guy where he might just think that, hey, I don't need this. And he's grown enough to make those decisions, and depending on the situation, ain't really much you can do about it because the damage has been done already. But as always, shout out to that chapter. You know what I'm saying? I like his stories. I like everything that this guy has put together and been doing. It's just crazy to see that we was living in a world with people that like eating people. And this isn't the first time we heard about it. Well, this is the first time I heard about this guy.
This story is crazy. This is Mahek Bukhari, a 23-year-old fashion influencer who has over 230,000 TikTok followers and millions of likes. She recently posted a video joking about murder, but it turns out it may have been more real than she let on. Shortly after posting that, she and her mother were accused of chasing two 21-year-old guys off the road, effectively murdering them and tearing their car in half. And one of the guys who died was her mother's young lover. Media report the women ran them off the road to hide the affair and their sex tapes. The 21-year-old apparently had an on-again, off-again affair with the still married 45-year-old mother, and he couldn't accept when she tried to end things for good. So he threatened to tell her family about the affair and leak explicit photos and videos of her. That's when she turned to her TikTok star daughter for help, who had also recently posted this video about having an elite, very close relationship with her mother. The daughter allegedly messaged her mom this on WhatsApp. Quote, "I'll get him jumped by guys and he won't know what day it is." The murder happened last year in England, but the court just released all these details this week. The court also played a distressing emergency call the guy made to cops, where he said they were trying to kill him before the car crashes and the audio cuts out. The prosecutor says the women did it to protect the mom's reputation and the girl's image online. They deny they're responsible for the pair's death.
Man, that was real messed up, but they both was in the wrong, you know what I'm saying? She's married, he fucking a married woman. You can't hide nothing from God, but at the same time, he should have kept his mouth closed because he already engaged in that type of activity. And when you make threats, I'm sorry, it don't matter what kind of threat it is. I don't take threats lightly. Nobody take threats lightly because now they gotta look over their back, watch over their shoulder, wonder why or when. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody trying to live like that. So, That's crazy. And just think about that car looked like it was on fire too. That shit was burning, you know what I'm saying?